Have you ever felt a profound sense of connection to something larger than yourself? A whisper of a forgotten truth echoing from the deepest corners of your being? What if the very fabric of reality, the world you perceive around you, isn't as solid and independent as it seems? Imagine a universe where your thoughts, your intentions, and your consciousness are not merely passive observers but active participants in shaping the very essence of existence. This isn't a fantasy from a science fiction novel. It's a concept deeply rooted in ancient spiritual traditions and increasingly finding intriguing parallels within the cutting-edge frontiers of quantum physics. Prepare to embark on a journey that blurs the lines between the tangible and the ethereal, a journey that might just reveal your mind to be the ultimate reality-bending machine. We're going to explore how ancient wisdom traditions, from the Vedic scriptures to indigenous shamanism, anticipated principles now being uncovered by quantum mechanics, and how understanding these connections can unlock an ancient technique to reshape your world. For millennia, countless spiritual traditions across diverse cultures have posited the primacy of consciousness. Long before the advent of modern science, ancient seers and philosophers intuitively understood that the external world was, in some profound way, a reflection or projection of an inner reality. Take the Upanishads, ancient Sanskrit texts forming the philosophical core of Hinduism. They declare Brahman is Atman, meaning the ultimate reality of the universe. Brahman is identical to the deepest self within each individual Atman. This isn't just a poetic metaphor. It's a statement about the fundamental interconnectedness of all things and the non-dual nature of existence, where subject and object are ultimately one. The concept of Maya, often translated as illusion, in Vedanta philosophy, doesn't imply that the world isn't real, but rather that its perceived independent and separate nature is an illusion. The world is real, but its reality is dependent on consciousness. Similarly, Buddhist philosophy emphasizes the concept of shunyata, or emptiness, not as a void, but as the lack of inherent independent existence in all phenomena. Everything arises in dependence on other factors, including the mind that perceives it. These traditions cultivated practices like meditation, mindfulness, and contemplation, not just for personal peace, but as tools to directly experience this non-dual reality and transcend the limitations of ordinary perception. They understood that by working with the mind one could fundamentally alter their experience of reality. The Hermetic tradition, with its famous axiom, as above, so below, as within, so without, perfectly encapsulates this mirroring principle, suggesting a direct correspondence between the microcosm of the individual and the macrocosm of the universe. In indigenous cultures, shamanic practices often involve altered states of consciousness to interact with spiritual realms and influence the material world, demonstrating a belief in the mind's active role in shaping reality. These ancient systems, through diverse methodologies, all pointed towards a profound truth. Consciousness isn't a byproduct of the brain, but rather a fundamental aspect of reality itself. Now fast forward to the 20th century, and a revolution unfurls in the realm of physics. Quantum mechanics emerges, a theory describing the behavior of matter and energy at the atomic and subatomic levels, and it throws a wrench into our classical Newtonian understanding of the universe. Suddenly, particles don't behave like tiny billiard balls. They exist as probability waves, only collapsing into a definite state when observed. This observer effect is perhaps the most mind-boggling aspect of quantum physics. Scientists like Niels Bohr, one of the pioneers of quantum theory, famously stated, "Isolated material particles are abstractions, their properties being definable and observable only through their interaction with other systems. And the most significant other system appears to be the conscious observer." The double-slit experiment is the quintessential demonstration of this. When electrons are fired one by one at a screen with two slits, they behave like waves, creating an interference pattern. However, if detectors are placed at the slits to observe which path each electron takes, the electrons suddenly behave like particles, passing through one slit or the other, and the interference pattern disappears. It's as if the act of observation forces the quantum wave function to collapse into a definite particle state. This isn't just about measurement. It's about the interaction between consciousness and potentiality. This profound implication, that consciousness might play a fundamental role in shaping reality at its most basic level, has led to various interpretations, some of which resonate deeply with ancient spiritual wisdom. The consciousness causes collapse interpretation, though not universally accepted among physicists, posits that consciousness itself is the agent that collapses the quantum wave function from a state of probability into a definite reality. While many physicists prefer interpretations that avoid invoking consciousness directly, such as the many worlds interpretation where every possible outcome of a quantum measurement occurs in a separate universe, the undeniable connection between observation and outcome remains a central mystery. Physicists like Eugene Wigner, a Nobel laureate, openly discussed the role of consciousness, suggesting that the laws of quantum mechanics are consistent with the idea that consciousness is a fundamental, irreducible property of the universe. He even proposed that consciousness might be necessary for the universe to exist in a definite state. More recently, the work of theoretical physicists like John Archibald Wheeler, who coined the term participatory universe, further explores this idea, suggesting that the universe is not just out there, but is continually being brought into existence through observation. He proposed the it from bit idea, implying that information is fundamental to reality, and that conscious observation extracts this information, thereby defining reality. The convergence of these seemingly disparate fields, ancient spirituality and modern quantum physics, offers a compelling narrative. Both suggest that reality isn't fixed and objective, but rather fluid and influenced by consciousness. The ancient technique to reshape your world, therefore, lies in understanding and consciously engaging with this fundamental principle. It's not about magic or wishful thinking, but about aligning your inner state with the desired external reality. This involves cultivating a deep awareness of your thoughts, beliefs, and intentions, recognizing them not as fleeting mental events, but as energetic patterns that interact with the quantum field of possibilities. If the universe is indeed a participatory one, then every thought you entertain, every emotion you feel, and every intention you set acts as a subtle yet powerful influence on the unfolding of your reality. Personal transformation stories abound that illustrate this principle. Individuals who have overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges often speak of a shift in their inner state, a profound belief in their ability to heal or achieve their goals, which then manifested in their external circumstances. A person struggling with chronic illness might, through practices like visualization and affirmation, begin to shift their internal narrative from one of sickness to one of vibrant health. While medical science focuses on physiological mechanisms, these stories often highlight the powerful role of the mind in the healing process, a concept increasingly explored in fields like psychoneuroimmunology, which studies the interaction between psychological processes and the nervous and immune systems. Similarly, individuals who achieve extraordinary success in their careers often attribute it not just to hard work, but to a clear vision, unwavering belief, and a persistent focus on their desired outcomes. These aren't just anecdotes, they are consistent patterns of human experience that resonate with the idea of a conscious, participatory universe. The law of attraction, while often oversimplified and commercialized, at its core points to this principle: like attracts like, and your dominant thoughts and feelings tend to manifest in your reality. It's not about passively wishing, but about actively aligning your inner world with your outer aspirations. However, it's crucial to approach this topic with nuance and avoid oversimplification or pseudoscientific claims. While quantum physics offers intriguing parallels, it does not directly prove the law of attraction or any specific spiritual dogma. The scientific understanding of consciousness itself is still in its infancy, and the precise mechanisms by which it might interact with the quantum realm are subjects of ongoing debate and research. There are many interpretations of quantum mechanics, and not all of them support a direct role for consciousness in collapsing the wave function. Some physicists argue that the observer effect, is simply about the interaction of a measurement device with the quantum system, and that consciousness is not necessarily required. Others propose that consciousness is an emergent property of complex brain activity, rather than a fundamental aspect of the universe. It's important to acknowledge these limitations and the ongoing scientific inquiry. The aim here is not to replace rigorous scientific investigation with spiritual belief, but to explore the fascinating points of convergence and the potential for a more holistic understanding of reality. Nevertheless, the implications for practical application are profound, regardless of the precise scientific explanation. If our consciousness indeed plays a role in shaping reality, even if only at a subtle level, then cultivating conscious awareness becomes paramount. This is where the ancient techniques truly shine. Practices like meditation, mindfulness, and visualization, which have been refined over millennia, are powerful tools for honing this conscious awareness. Meditation, for instance, trains the mind to observe its own processes, to become aware of thoughts and emotions without being carried away by them. This detachment allows for a greater degree of choice in how one responds to inner and outer stimuli. When you are no longer a slave to your habitual thought patterns, you gain the ability to consciously choose thoughts and intentions that are more aligned with your desired reality. Visualization, a technique often used in sports psychology and personal development, involves vividly imagining a desired outcome as if it has already occurred. This isn't just daydreaming, it's a way of programming the subconscious mind and creating a strong, energetic blueprint for manifestation. Affirmations, positive statements repeated regularly, also work by reprogramming limiting beliefs and reinforcing desired outcomes. The cultural impact of these ideas is already evident. From the growing popularity of mindfulness apps to the widespread interest in personal development and manifestation techniques, there's a clear societal shift towards recognizing the power of the mind. Books like The Secret brought concepts of the law of attraction into mainstream consciousness, albeit often in an oversimplified manner. However, they sparked a global conversation about the power of positive thinking and intention. In the technological realm, advancements in brain-computer interfaces (BCIs) are beginning to show how conscious thought can directly influence external devices, blurring the lines between mind and machine. While still in early stages, BCIs demonstrate a tangible link between intention and physical manifestation, albeit through technological intermediaries. Emerging trends in fields like quantum biology, which investigates the role of quantum mechanics in biological processes, further suggest a deeper interconnectedness between the fundamental laws of physics and the living world. Could consciousness be a quantum phenomenon itself? These are exciting questions that hint at a future where the spiritual and scientific understandings of reality become increasingly integrated. In conclusion, the journey from ancient spiritual wisdom to the cutting edge of quantum physics reveals a compelling narrative. Your mind is not merely a receiver of reality, but an active participant in its creation. The ancient technique to reshape your world is not a complicated ritual, but a profound understanding of your own conscious power. It's about cultivating awareness, aligning your intentions, and recognizing the non-dual nature of existence. By consciously choosing your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions, you are, in essence, tuning into specific frequencies within the vast field of quantum possibilities. This isn't about controlling the universe, but about harmonizing with its fundamental principles. So, what does this mean for you, here and now? It means recognizing that you hold immense power within. It means taking responsibility for your inner landscape, knowing that it profoundly influences your outer experience. Begin by observing your thoughts without judgment. What stories are you telling yourself about your life, about your capabilities, about the world? Are these stories serving you or limiting you? Then consciously choose to cultivate thoughts and intentions that align with the reality you wish to create. Practice mindfulness, engage in visualization, and affirm your desired outcomes with conviction. This is a lifelong practice, a journey of self-discovery and conscious creation. What are your thoughts on the connection between consciousness and reality? Have you ever experienced a moment where your inner state seemed to directly influence your external circumstances? Share your insights and experiences in the comments below. We love hearing from you and fostering a community of conscious explorers. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more deep dives into the mysteries of consciousness, spirituality, and science. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the nature of reality. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey.